Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode on Boundary Line Podcast. Dillon Pink here, along with Sheldon Dougherty on the show. And what's better than one high scoring game? It's two high scoring games and a nail biting finish there in the end. Both the games. We'll come to both the games in a short while. But first things first, a big thanks to all our viewers. Please continue to subscribe to our channel, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to like the video as well. And let's get straight into it because I think it's going to be a long video, Sheldon. Two matches to cover. We'll try our best to do it in the shortest time possible. Lucknow Super Giants versus Kolkata Knight Riders was the first game today, a high scoring one there. Lucknow really showing how to go about in this IPL, pumping the teams all over the park there. 238, they were asked to bat first, 238 for 3. Markram getting a good start. Marsh, if you thought he batted well, 81 there, he scored. Well, you were wrong because Nicholas Puran came and did what he does the best there. Smack sixes all over the park. 8 sixes in total, 87 there, but the game was not done. And KKR came out all guns blazing there. Everybody getting starts there. Sunil Narayan, Ajinkya Rahane played like a blinder of a knock there. 61, 35 balls. Venkatesh Iyer also got in, but you knew that it was a little too much on that pitch. And if you get 2 overs right, you were going to win the game there. But Sheldon, your thoughts on that first game? I thought it was an absolute brilliant game there, Sheldon. So close KKR came. They were just one hit away from winning it.
Yeah, Dil, what a crazy game. I mean, it was so similar to yesterday as well. I mean, another high-scoring thriller, another crazy game. But Dil, I just want to talk about the toss at first. I know it was a close game, but Dil, I was shocked that you win the toss and you like to bowl first in a day game. I mean, that surprised me. I know in the end it was a close game and they came short, but for me, you think it's a day game, no due, go out there, get some runs, put a score on the board. KKR last game did that and won convincingly against Hyderabad as well by batting first and getting a big score. So you think they'd follow the same routine in a day game, but you put in Lucknow. Lucknow absolutely destroy you in the first innings with the way they bat. And I want to mention Mitch Marshall. He set the tone. He seems to be setting the tone every game for them and going under the
Yeah.
radar. He's been so consistent and so brutal. And I thought today again he was so brilliant till at the top of the order.
Yes, Sheldon. I thought he was superb. Along with Aiden Markram also there. I think he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
mentioned there because he didn't get a 50, but he
yeah.
played another blinder of a knock there. Both of them setting the pace there, and they just got out to a flyer, and you could see it on KKR's face. Did they make a mistake with the toss there by asking these guys to bat? Because it was just pure ball striking there, and I mean, that wicket, Sheldon, again, I thought it was going to turn a bit. I thought, it had something in it for the bowlers there, but these guys were playing like as if there was nothing in it, for the bowlers. But clean ball striking, Sheldon, and you're right. Mitchell Marsh, I think, has been absolutely brilliant for LSG in this season. No doubt about it. He's come in there, he's got the starts for them, and he's taken them off, to a good score there in the end. But let's come to the man that everyone's fearing to bowl to now. It used to be a few others back in the day, like Chris Gale, Andre Russell, but Nicholas Puran Sheldon is some player, is he? My God, 241 that strike rate there, 87 of just 36 balls. I even don't know what to say because some of the shots were just outrageous.
Yeah, Dylan, I think he's often underrated. In fact, he's so good, Nicholas Puran. I mean, the way he strikes the ball, the way he attacks spin, he comes in at three, he comes in at four, he comes in tough positions as well, and he just absolutely smokes it. Dylan. What a strike rate that was that you mentioned as well. I mean, to bat like that is just incredible, and he's been doing it all season. I think him
Yeah.
along with Marsh, as we mentioned, have been Lucknow's two best batters. They've both been scoring in most of the games, and I mean, the way he was batting, he looked well set to get 100. In fact, I mean,
Easily.
probably if the opening partnership was in 99, he probably would have, come in early and got 100. But yeah, the fantastic ball striking and his knock was probably the difference between the two sides when you look at it, not only because of the runs, but because of the pace he was playing at.
Yeah, absolutely, Sheldon. There, you're spot on there with that. But the bowling also for KKR, I thought Varun Chakravarti so good. Weber Aurora actually also. If
Yeah.
you look at that bowling card there, they both have been brilliant. But the rest of them, Sheldon, just taken to the cleaners there. But it's given on this sort of a wicket. But KKR. credit to them. I thought they got off to a brilliant start. They, showed in 10 90 in the first 6 overs, and you thought it was game on straight away, right?
Yeah.
Because when you have these big scores, Sheldon, it's so important, so important that you need to get off to a good start.
Yeah, you're so right there because they came out with the mindset of we don't care if we lose wickets. We're going to try to hit 80, 90, 100 in the power play the way they came out. And that was such a positive mindset. They came out looking, to go for it from ball one, and they did. They started superbly well. They were well in that chase for most of the innings as well. I think only towards the middle, probably they had a slight period of play where they lost a few wickets, but I thought the way they approached it was absolutely brilliant, Dil. And the captain Rehane, I mean, he played a gem of a knock, right? Dil, that some brilliant shots, and as long as he was there, it looked like they were well in the game, KKR.
Oh, yes. I thought Rahane was absolutely brilliant today. Captain Zunok led from the
Yeah,
front, and that intent was shown there that we are going to go after this total. You get 250, you get 260, we are going to get this total. And it just showed, Sheldon, a shot here or a shot there. And these guys were home very easily. And it comes on to this fine margins. How important was the fielding also today? We've seen a few misfields, both from KKR and LSG. But what I wanted to ask you, Sheldon, regarding this match was Rinku Singh is such a good player, such a destructive player. Sending him that late by sending Raghuvanshi and Ramandeep so early, and they kept Rinku Singh for so late. I don't know what was the game plan there because Rinku Singh came out there and he was just like hitting it from ball one there, and I felt it was too much for him to do in the end.
yeah, Dil. I mean, it's astonishing. He came at number eight. Rinku Singh is not a number eight, my God. And I know they sent Russell as well above. I understand Russell coming above him. Russell, as we know, we've seen him do it time and time again, year after year. But as you mentioned, Dil, he shouldn't be coming in below, Raghavanshi and Ramandeep. He should be coming in at six, maybe even five. He's that good a player. We've seen him win games for KKR, throughout the years. So yeah, I was shocked he came in so late, and probably there was way too much work for him to do when he came in, Dil. Because if he came in about 10 to 15 balls earlier, I think they could have well got it because, as we know, they only fell 4 runs short, Dil.
Exactly, because then when you add up the number of balls that Ramandeep,
Yeah,
Raghuvanshi, and Andre Russell played, and against the runs, it's around 9 to 10 balls that they played, and they got around 13 runs.
yeah,
So even if you had to give half the balls over there to Rinku, to come out and bat, he just needed one strike.
yeah,
But I mean, always in retrospect, it's easy to
yeah.
say, Sheldon, when the game's done. But, clearly, I thought they missed the chance there by sending Rinku Singh up the order. But one thing what I wanted to ask you also is about Rishabh Pant's captaincy. I don't know if if he's the best one in this year's IPL, and even the calls for DRS also. He was simply going for the DRS, the first one, and then they went back the very next ball for another DRS, and thankfully that was out. But it just gets the feeling that he's a bit lost, Sheldon, on the field.
No, for me, I feel Rishabh Pant is best when he's not thinking too much, when he's just out there and they tell him, go play a natural game. I feel at Delhi, he looked very uncomfortable when he was captain. There was some shocking moments as well. I don't think he's a natural captain. When you look at Rishabh Pant, I
Yeah.
think it's very you're forcing him into the role. And when he's captain, he seems like he has thousand thoughts in his head, and that not only confuses him on the field, but as a batter, he looks a shell of himself when he's batting. It seems like he's so caged. He doesn't want to play any shot. He's just so confused and not sending yourself to battle. Obviously, Lucknow were going great, and they scored a big score. So he'd probably say it worked out perfectly that he didn't come out to bat. But Rishabh Pant, for me, he has to bat in the top four. I think he's that good a player. We've seen so many times for Delhi as well. Back in the day, in early Delhi days when Pant was at his peak, that time when he
Yeah.
used to bat high up the order, how destructive he was, how carefree he used to play. And I think we need that Rishabh Pant back. We don't need this one who's a man who looks so lost in his thoughts, a man who's so caged in and playing, this different type of cricket, which is so not him. So personally, I don't think he should be captain. I think there's more negatives than positives with him being captain. So you give it to anyone else. Even Puran, I feel, could maybe captain. But yeah, for me, Pant is not the one who should be leading Lucknow. I don't feel it helps the team, nor does it help him.
Yeah, because it was close today, and if this game would have gone against them, then a lot of questions would have been asked about his captaincy choices, especially the field placements. Also, it's suicidal there when you're bowling a bouncer and you're keeping fine leg inside the circle. These are just a bit like basic things that you need to get, right. And I don't know, maybe they're trying to outfox the batsman, something like that. But it was just a bit bizarre there for me there. But really, Pant, I think, like you said, is such a good player. Has to bat in the top four, but I just feel he's low right now and just not getting the runs. Also, he's been paid so much of money, and we've seen it time and again, Sheldon. When you are being paid the big bucks in this IPL, how many players stand up and perform? Yes, there are few who live up to the expectation, but majority we've seen over the course of these 18 years,
Yeah.
they always under the pump at some point of time. But such a close game it was today. But Lucknow holding their nerve, and I thought the bowling changed towards the end there. He adjusted really well. Rishabh Pant, took the right calls there, and oh boy, it was an edge of a seat there. But KKR fans will be a bit disappointed. They came so close, they fought so hard. It was a brilliant game, irrespective of whoever won. But yeah, we move on to the next game. It was CSK versus the Punjab Kings, played at the new Chandigarh Stadium there, and that was another thriller. It went on to the wire. It had everything, and again, CSK fans, I think, are going to be left disappointed by this performance. Another high-scoring game. They shouldn't have got that much in the end. But Sheldon, you got to say the young kid there, Arya, I thought he batted out of his skin today, just showing that he's here to stay.
Oh, Dill, I mean, you're spot on there. What a knock he played, right, Dill? I mean, for an uncapped player in his fourth IPL game as well. I mean, many
Exactly.
many comparing it to Paul Voltati, when he hit that 100 against CSK back in 2013, a very similar type knock. He was also uncapped as well, and what a knock Dill he played. And for me, the most insane thing about his knock was how wickets kept tumbling. But he was like, who cares? I'm in good form. I'm going to keep smoking it. Ashwin, one of the greatest of all time. Okay, welcome. I'm going to smack you out of the park. Pati Rana, someone who's well known across all franchises for being an excellent death bowler, an
He
excellent middle
tore into
overs.
Patirana,
He
man. He
tore into
tore into.
he tore into Pati Rana. Noor Ahmed Red, you also the purple cap holder. Thank you for coming. I'm going to smack you. And this kid was playing with no fear, Dill, against a top class bowling attack. And from ball one, he just kept going, Dill. And some of the shots were just brilliant. And that also just shows modern cricket, Dill. You keep going, right? Wickets stumble, so what? We'll keep swinging. And if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out, right? But if we get you, you're dead. And that's the way he approached his innings, Dill. Absolutely insane.
Yes, Priyansh Arya there scoring a fantastic 100 in just his fourth IPL game, 103 of 42 balls. But just to remind all our viewers there, Punjab Kings, they won the toss and they batted first. They're 219 for 6. You knew straight away when they got that score it's going to be a task for CSK. They've not been able to chase down that total, but they came a bit close here tonight there. But Sheldon at one point, they were 81 for 4, 83 for 5, and then Priyansh Arya just went berserk after that. He kept striking the ball all around. And if you look at the scorecard, also there, Prab Simran Singh, duck. Shreyas Iyer, he scored 9. Marcus Stoinis, 4. Nehal Vadera, 9. Glenn Maxwell just scores 1. But Priyansh Arya kept going, like you said. He just kept hitting it right out of the park there. But that partnership with Shashank Singh in the end, with him and then Marco Janssen also in the end, there, I thought was really good, and that lifted them up, Sheldon, to 219. At one stage, they didn't look like they were going to get once he got out, right?
Yeah, Dil, I think you mentioned as well, they kept losing wickets. They were 83 for 5, Dil. And that's the moment I think CSK will be looking and think, oh, that's when we let the game slide. Because at 83 for 5, you can't be letting a side make 200 plus still. Yes, he batted unbelievably well, but CSK from that position will be kicking themselves because that was the position for CSK to come back, to
True.
restrict them to maybe to 180, below 180. They could have from that situation if they got
Easily.
another wicket quick there. But yeah, I mean, the way Arya played, Dil, I thought Shashank as well, he played brilliantly, Dil. The way he batted. At first, he wasn't even attacking, Dil. He was just watching, Arya go about his business and he just stayed and stayed. And once Arya got out, then he started playing, more expansively. And that partnership with Janssen was just brilliant for Punjab, Dil. probably a match-winning partnership because it took them from 160 odd to 219, which is a big, big difference still because it takes you for from a 9 run for over to 11 runs for, which is just insane. And that probably just took all the positives out from CSK's bowling performance, that last partnership.
They're spot on, yeah, that you said, and I just want to stress on the fact that they were 83 for 5,
Yeah.
and then that was in the eighth over, exactly in the eighth over,
Yeah.
and then the next wicket falls over at 154 for 6, and that's in the 13th over. The 13.4 overs were bowled right then. I mean, you can look at the difference there. That was almost 70 plus runs there in the space of just like 6 overs there. That's insane, you know. And then, like you said, they were 6 wickets down, 154. You still had time to pull them back a bit, like, you know, not even get them to go past 200, maybe 205. You know, they were probably looking at, but in the end, like you said, Sheldon, that there was some brilliant ball striking in the end. Shashank and Marco Janssen there, that partnership there, and Priyansh Arya again, the strike rate. We mentioned Nicholas Puran's strike rate there. Priyansh Arya was striking at 245. I mean, for his just his fourth game, that's absolutely insane. And CSK's bowling. Let's come to that now. I I don't know what they have to do, Sheldon, because it's just bizarre. I don't know if it's just the captaincy or it's just the bowlers there. You don't bowl your purple cap holder. You don't finish his full quota. Ravindra Jadeja is bowling so well, 3 overs, 18 runs, and you don't finish his 1 over. Noor Ahmed, 3 overs, 32 runs. I know he got whacked, you know, a bit, especially in his last over there, but he took a wicket, you know. So, and he's an attacking bowler. How do you make such mistakes in such a must-win game, Sheldon?
I don't understand it. For a team who's struggling to take wickets, for a team who's struggling to bowl out teams, how can you leave Noor Ahmed with 1 over left? How can you leave Jadeja with 1 over? I don't understand it. And it just seemed they were puzzled. Even when they did have them five down and Punjab kept hitting, it's almost like CSK thought, okay, Punjab are five down. They're going to eventually get all out for a reasonable score. We are going to eventually, get into this game. But they were just waiting for things to happen. They were not aggressive enough. At 83 for 5, you got to attack. Get Noor on. Let him finish a spell there. Get another wicket here, and you're going to bowl them out for 150 odd. Like if you
Yeah.
get the sixth wicket there, you got to attack them, not just sit and wait. And when Arya was smoking it, you just thought CSK were like, oh man, what's going to happen now? Like there was just no intent or no forward thinking to try to get him out. It was just they were waiting for mistakes to happen. And I think that was a big issue. And really, they needed to look for wickets more. And I think that was the biggest mistake from CSK side, too.
Yeah, they didn't attack properly, Sheldon. And you know, when you're like already have them 5 wickets, half the team is sitting
Yeah.
inside the first 10 overs. How often do teams win from that position? You don't see that happening
Yeah.
that much. And CSK, I thought, let them off today, like you said. But coming to the CSK's batting there, I thought they got off to a brilliant start. 70 plus in the power play.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted. We were talking about, you know, less than that is not going to cut it for them. They got to look at 60, 65 plus every game. Today they got that, Sheldon. And, you know, Devin Conway, Rachan Ravindra went out smoking it right from ball one itself there. But surprisingly, again, like we've all said, we've been asking this question. Ruturaj Gaikwad not opening. You've seen that today. He came out and he just went in a flash. It's like it was like a blink and a miss moment. Faced two balls and boom, he was gone.
Yeah, Dylan Gaikwad's done so well for them opening. He's got orange cap as well, a couple of years. He's just so settled at the top of the order, and he's made his reputation there. Now he's captain and he's batting at three. I just don't get that. Why are you, forcing others to open the batting when you're obviously the best opener going around in the team and you're the captain? So I just don't get it. And till we were talking about this with Mumbai as well, where you feel like they overcomplicate things with how they're selecting their side. Just stick to people in their positions, right? You have a good enough lineup, just play them where they usually bat, and that will
Yeah.
solve one issue. But yeah, just overcomplicating things. And yeah, Conway came today, and I thought he played well at the top of the order with Ravindra, and they gave them a start. But again, once Gaikwad came and he got out, then they had to kind of rebuild again. Dubey, when he came out early, took a bit of time, and that rebuilding phase probably just took a bit too long for CSK.
Yeah.
I, I think that was one issue, and by the time Dubey got out, it felt like the asking rate was too much.
Yeah, and just to correct myself there, I think there were 60 in inside the first 6 overs. I think I made a mistake there, but yeah, Sheldon, totally right. I thought that rebuilding phase, I thought they took a few balls too many. You could see there that time since the last boundary was almost 18, 19 balls since the next boundary was scored there, and that
Yeah.
put pressure. And it was like, who's going to up the ante from here? Dubé came out, he started, playing well, and I thought he did a fairly good job today as the impact player. He did his role and he went. You can't have him to do much more than that. If the shots had to get connected, it would have gone there. But he got a good ball by Ferguson there. But Devin Conway, bizarre for him to like retire out just towards the last 2 overs left. He was playing at almost 150 strike rate, but you felt he slowed down a bit towards the end there.
Yeah, he was just struggling to hit a boundary towards the end. When Dubé got it as well, I think Conway hadn't hit a boundary for a while, and that was obviously it was funny, tough to hit the boundary, and it's a tough call, Dil. I don't know how I feel about retiring wickets. We saw it that day with Tilak Verma as well,
That was
and
bizarre, man.
yeah, you just see these and you're surprised because you're like, first of all, you need to hit at that time, and then bringing in someone new at the time to start trying to hit like what 18 runs per over, 19 runs per over at the time. That's a tough ask, right? You'd rather back the guy who's been used to the surface and who's already
Exactly.
there. It's a
Yeah.
tough call and a bit harsh. I don't think Conway played that badly to get to give up his wicket. I thought he did all right. It's just that the runs were probably too much for CSK. Like, I thought they didn't bat that badly, actually, CSK. They were in the chase for most of it, but I just felt 219 was way too much for this batting lineup.
Yeah, 219 was always going to be tough, and there Shreyas Iyer, I thought he rotated his bowlers really well there. He kept Yuzvendra Chahal out
Yeah.
when Devin Conway and Shivan Dube were going all guns blazing there. He just kept him out and didn't allow him to bowl. But as soon as Dube went, you seen Yuzvendra
Yeah.
Chahal coming, and so surprising that Chahal got just the one over Sheldon in this game. How often do you see Chahal bowl just one over and that team wins? It's insane. You don't see that happening. And Chahal is a wicket taking bowler. I thought it was a bit harsh on him. He could have gone for more overs there with him. But coming to the man there, the legend, the myth, the the god of this IPL there with the highest strike rates in CSK's knock there. No prizes for guessing. MS Dhoni. 27 of 12 balls. Roll back the clock there, you felt?
Yeah, no, that's quite some knock. Yeah, he's smoking it pretty much, from ball one, the way he came out and was hitting it. He looked at his very best there. Probably again, by the time he came in, the required rate was way too high. But yeah, I thought this was his best knock of this year's IPL. I mean, the way he was hitting the seamers as well, like he looked
Yeah.
very much in his element today. And like he obviously took a few innings. I think few innings he was struggling, especially the last two games. But yeah, today he looked somewhere close to his best, and CSK will hope he can continue this because they desperately need him, Dil. Because I think CSK lack a power in their team. We were discussing Dil. I think
Yeah.
with him and Jadeja, yes, they can finish innings, but it's not that X factor power. Like some teams have, like Mumbai, for example, even KKR have that, RCB have that in their middle order where they can. Even Punjab today showed that, Dil, where they can go absolutely berserk. I think CSK definitely need Dhoni and Jadeja to click for them to get 200 plus scores like they did today, Dil.
Yeah, and I thought he played well today. I thought he came at number 5. He was perfect there. He did his part and he went. But you're right. He came in at the time when the asking rate was too much, and Tony he just went from ball one there. But again, too much left to do at the end when the other batsmen have not done the work there. But to be fair, Punjab's bowlers, I thought they
Yeah.
bowled well to at least keep them in the hunt. They were in the hunt, CSK there, but they didn't let them go completely, because if 1 or 2 overs went here or there, then this was CSK's game very, very easily. I thought the bowling was good. Maxwell, I know he didn't do anything with the bat, but so important, Sheldon, with the ball. He took that important wicket of Rachin Ravindra there, and in the field, electric, running around, saving boundaries there. But a lot of catches put down today in this match from
Yeah.
both the teams. We were wondering what was happening. Was it the fingers? Was it the lights? Did they? I don't know what happened there today, Sheldon.
Yeah, Dil, it was crazy. How many drop catches? I mean, even towards the end. And I think one of the Chennai staff even said that they've dropped way too many catches in this tournament. We remember even in the RCB game, Patidar was dropped. And even, I think in the last game, Chennai dropped a few catches. And it's not just that they're dropping catches, but these guys go on and make big scores, and that hurts them. Ultimately, in the end, when you're chasing, 219, when you could be chasing 170, 180, it's a massive difference. And I think for CSK, that'll hurt them. Yes, the bowling's probably not been at their best, but their fielding's also letting them down. And as we have seen in this IPL, the catches do win you matches, at key intervals as well. So that's one area CSK will have to look at. But Dil, for you, when you look at the CSK team, what do you think they need to change? Obviously, they've lost 4 out of 5 games now. It just seems like, I don't know whether their balance is wrong. They're making changes every game, which usually CSK don't do. And they just seem a bit lost right now, Dil, with their selection.
Yeah, I feel Ruturaj has to open. We've been saying this time and again, I mean, and we are no major experts over here. So I feel Ruturaj Gaikwad has to open. The Devon Conway and him have to set the tone from the start. Rachin Ravinda can come one down and then you take it from there. Either you got Shivam Dubey or either you got MS Dhoni coming up also. Let him play up the order. It's no problem. Let him come up, hit a few, and it's fine. It doesn't have to be you keep him for the 18th over, 19th over where he gets to play 5 to 11 balls there. He has to play more like we've seen today. You need to give him that time as well and let him build on there. But he knows best what to do. But even the bowling also, I think Jadeja not as effective like he used to be, especially on these tracks when it doesn't turn so much for the spinners. Ashwin also, he took 2 wickets, but if you have young kids come out and smoke you all around the ground from ball one, it's like I think both of them are not as effective as they used to be there, Sheldon. And I think the batting needs to change. You need power hitters coming in the middle. Dhoni, yes, you can bank on him, but you need someone else other than Dhoni. And I think Shivam Dubey is that player along with Dhoni that needs to do that role. But otherwise, I feel the order is good. And I felt, Sheldon, if they had to win this match today, I felt it would have changed something around. This could have been the match that turned things around, and we've seen that last year as well with RCB, where they've had to go and win 6 matches. They won all that in a row. So
Yeah.
it this match they were in the chase, I thought, and but they just didn't get over the line there. But CSK fans, don't lose hope. I would say that there's always times like this. Seasons will come and go, but you got to back your team there. But thank you so much for watching the video, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you guys. If you like the video, do hit the like button, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also follow us on Instagram. The handle's down in the description, and we'll see you soon in the next video.